lovelies, it's me again. I know that a lot of people out there, you know, they love to cycle and they love to run. And a lot of people coming into this whole like journey of transforming your lifestyle, eating healthy. It's kind of hard to know like what's best for you. Should you run? Should you cycle? Should you do both? Should you do neither? Should you lift weights? But specifically, I want to devote this video comparing running and cycling. Both of them have their own sets of benefits and their own sets of drawbacks, and honestly, what's best for you really depends on you. I'm not here in this video to claim that cycling is everything and running is nothing, or that running is everything and cycling is nothing, because that's not reality. One doesn't necessarily triumph over the other. It honestly depends on what you're more likely to stick to and what better works for you, depending on the condition of your life, the condition of your body, the condition of your resources. What are you more likely to stick with over time? So in this video, I'm going to bring to you the cons and pros of running and the cons and pros of cycling. And I thought it was appropriate that I do this video because I love running and I love cycling, and I do both of them you know, whenever I can, whenever really I feel like it, but I don't have any bias towards the other. So let's talk about equipment. Running requires no equipment. Honestly, you don't need any shoes, you don't need any clothes. You really, all you need is your naked body. Whereas cycling, you require a bike, and obviously you require safety equipment like helmets and shoulder pads or whatever else safety equipment you use. You may not use safety equipment, but if you want to be successful at cycling, you don't want to die. So yeah. And also you might potentially need climbing gear. So these are all things to take into consideration. If you're, you know, well off, you have enough money to afford all these things, then you could try it out, see if it works for you. But the only drawback to this is that when you're traveling, it's really difficult to get all of your equipment from, you know, one area of the country to another continent. In terms of this, cycling is lacking compared to running, equipment-wise. In terms of weight loss and fat loss, running does burn more calories per hour. Running burns, depending on your height, your age, your sex, things like that. Running burns on average 600 calories an hour, while cycling does half of this. But naturally, this depends on your incline, this depends on your speed. It can honestly be controlled. Running does increase your heart rate faster than cycling does. So in the end, running is a better cardio. But of course, that might not be your goal. You might not want to lose any weight. You might just want to feel good. If that's your goal, then this really doesn't apply to you at all. But in terms of building muscle, running is not going to build any muscles. I'm sorry. So if you're looking into building muscles rather than weight loss or fat loss, cycling definitely will do that better for you. You will get, cycling works your butt, it works your quads, it works other areas of your abdominal, and it can, you know, build muscle. Whereas running, you can see a lot of times runners just look pretty much really skinny, kind of like a stick. And that's not healthy. That can lead to chronic coldness. That can lead to just, you know, feeling weak all the time. It's not good to be too skinny, of course. So it's nice to have some muscle, and cycling will definitely achieve that to you, whereas running just simply won't. I personally believe that running is a more natural thing. Obviously, running is something that we've done for a longer time than we've cycled, and it's just something that you might want to consider if you're trying to do something for the rest of your life. But running is simply a position that we're accustomed to. We're standing, we're moving faster, whereas cycling, your like back is protruded forward towards the ground and you're pretty much sitting the whole time in a very weird, you know, form. So if you're considering cycling for a very long distance of time, you might want to take this into consideration. Some type of back pain that you might acquire, some type of butt pain that you might acquire throughout that time. Lots of cyclers don't mind this at all. Left cyclers don't have problems. It's just something to be considered, is the weird position that cycling, you know, puts your body in. But running, on the other hand, oftentimes leads to just general muscle damage, like knee pain, and any type of sprains or injuries also occur in running more often than they occur in cycling. This is something that can be minimized as well. Lots of people who begin running are very successful with it, you know, especially at the beginning, because running just kind of revolutionizes everything that goes on in you, because you just have such a rush of endorphins, and people get a misinterpreted impression that the more they run, the better it is for them, and then people go out and run marathons, and that's such an easy way to deteriorate your body, because that's absolutely something that requires a lot of energy, a lot of movement, and something that honestly is just a lot of stress on the body. And especially if you're doing it long term, it can cause lots of cardiovascular problems. There's a TED Talk out there. You can find it. It was absolutely an amazing TED Talk talking about how exercising too much can really be damaging. Like once you start to exceed 15 miles a week per running, you are essentially like you plateaued and you're spiraling downwards, and there's no difference between you and the potato couch. But cycling, on the other hand, can lead to more serious injuries, especially if you run into a car. This can be a really big problem, especially in urban areas, is how dangerous it is for cyclers, especially because cycling, you are going twice the speed as you are with running, therefore you have twice the impact. So cycling is more likely to lead to death than running is, but of course this can also be reduced through safety equipment. So in the end, it really just depends on you. It depends on how much you're willing to spend towards your exercise regime. It depends on the state of your muscles, your body, what you want to achieve with that. It depends on any type of previous injuries you've had. And I personally truly believe that the answer to this discrepancy is to just do both. If you love cycling, then cycle. But if you are going to travel, then maybe just cycle and run. You know, there's just so many options out there, and you shouldn't be so one-minded to believe that cycling is, you know, a gift from God and running is a gift from the savages, because that's not true. Both of them have changed people's lives in so many ways, and both of them should be respected for that. The best results are often achieved by the things that are most sustainable, and you know, finding a balance is honestly such a revolutionary sort of way of life, and it's so overlooked. Anyway, so that's all I have today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I really do hope this was interesting for you guys. Thank you for sitting through this video, and if you like this video, you should thumbs it up. You should subscribe as well, because that would mean a lot to me. I absolutely love putting out these videos to you guys, but it makes me a lot more motivated. It makes me a lot happier when I know people are watching. So if you could subscribe, you could see what I have coming out next, and you could be notified of that, which is awesome. So you should do that, and I suppose I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys again for watching. You are awesome, you are beautiful. Listen to yourself, do what your heart is telling you to do, and see you next time.